Hi and welcome back or welcome to my All the Perfume YouTube channel. In this video I'm asking, where did these Britney Spears perfumes go? Britney launched her first perfume, Curious, in 2004 and there have been so many releases in her line since. I am a huge fan of all of the Britney Spears perfumes and I collect them. So below I will link any of my previous review videos, top 10s or collections for you to go back and watch. I am so often asked about these perfumes on my platforms, whether or not they're available to buy and where you can buy them from. So with the Britney perfumes that you can still buy, I will include as many links below as I can for you to shop them for yourselves. However, this video is about the Britney perfumes that have been discontinued, and I've picked 5 here that I really think should have stayed. There's also another perfume that we'll talk about today that was so good I actually used up my entire bottle, and as it is discontinued, won't be able to replace it sadly. I will go through each of these scents individually and tell you why I think they're so great and why they should have stayed. This perfume is Curious in Control and it was released in 2006. The notes are fruity notes, sweet notes, vanilla, orchid and tonka bean, and also musk and sandalwood. Now, when I first tried this in Macy's, New York, I was told it was meant to be a combination of Curious, Britney's first perfume, and Fantasy, which was her second perfume. And that detail had me very interested. This bottle, I think, looks so great. Sleek, maybe kind of 80s vibes with the black and pink. And you could actually buy it with a pump atomizer, like you could with Curious. But personally, I found those atomizers never really worked as long as I would have liked them to. They kind of stopped working before the perfume had run out. I prefer the spray. With this scent, it is a very fun, typically Britney perfume in that it is fruity and sweet. And I'll give it a little test here. That smells so good and very nostalgic to me, of course, because I tried it when it was first launched. It isn't like much else, but it's got that lovely sweet vanilla sandalwood mix that is a lot like Viktor and Rolf's Bon Bon. And as I think that's quite different, it still feels like a unique scent to me. There aren't many perfumes that are like this. It's so fun, it's kind of warm. It just needs to be a little bit stronger. I had that criticism of it when I first tried it. I wished it lasted longer, but it's a great perfume to spray lots of. I've always enjoyed doing that with Curious in Control, and then I felt like I could smell it a bit more. There's something so yummy and fun and kind of young about this, and young in a kind of taking you back to, you know, times gone by, that nostalgia of fun things in the past. And it'd be hard to smell this and not feel good. It smells really great, that lovely sweet vanilla mix. It's also a bit like a perfume that was launched by Kelly Brook in the UK. Now, I've been looking up that one online and it was quite hard to find. It wasn't on Fragrantica, even though 2 of her other perfumes were, but this also smelled a little bit like that perfume too. You can't buy this anymore, which is such a shame. And I think if you wanted something similar, you would be best off trying Prerogative Rave by Britney Spears, because that's fruit, sweet as well, but not musky and kind of cozy in the way that this one is. This is a really great perfume, which I think just should have stayed around. The fact it has the Curious shape to the bottle, so classic and so kind of glamorous. It's a real shame that this one didn't last the test of time. Launched in 2013, this perfume is Island Fantasy, and the notes are watermelon, citruses, clementine, mandarin orange and red berries in the top, freesia, violet and jasmine in the middle, and sugarcane and musk in the base. I have a bit of a funny relationship with this perfume because I did own it when it was first launched and then parted ways with it. I didn't feel that this was lasting well enough. I just couldn't smell it on myself in the way that I wanted to and would have expected for a Britney scent at the time, as I was already quite a way into buying her perfumes. Didn't last well enough, I parted ways with it. And then I missed it. And funnily enough, even though it seemed to have been discontinued, it came back around and I bought it again in 2018, I think it was, and found it stronger. So I'm not sure what happened with that first bottle, but I definitely find it stronger now. So this is just mouth-wateringly fun holiday vibes with that lovely watermelon note and the sugar. It is such a great mix that would just make me want to take it on a holiday where I'm going to be swimming and enjoying the sun. It smells really good. A definite feel-good summer scent that I think the sugar really complements, rather than it just being about the fruits with the watermelon and the citrus. However, the bad news is this seems to have gone again. So now you can only buy the body mist of it, which, if you're interested in the scent, would be a good purchase to make. You can buy the body mist, but it is not easy or cheap to buy Island Fantasy yet again. Maybe it will come back around like it did previously. But if you do want a watermelon fix from the Britney line, and indeed the Britney Fantasy line, you could go and check out Jungle Fantasy, which was only launched 2 years ago. So that would be a good way of trying a watermelon Britney perfume. But it is a shame that Island Fantasy can't be bought anymore, because that bottle is also very beautiful. This is Fantasy in Bloom, launched in 2017, and the notes are Japanese cherry blossom, red berries and green mandarin in the top. In the middle, jasmine, osmanthus and tuberose, and in the base, vanilla, amber and sandalwood. And I didn't expect to love this perfume, or particularly find it a favourite in the Britney collection, because back then in 2017 I wasn't really as into and didn't really appreciate floral perfumes. But in fact this is a love for me. So first of all, the perfume is really strong, and I used to just receive compliments basically every time I wore it. You get this lovely strong cherry blossom note, then the juicy berries, and it's floral. It is just what would make a really good spring scent. Kind of got a refreshing thing in there too. And I don't particularly think of the tuberose when I think of this perfume. It's more the jasmine that's coming through, and a little bit of vanilla. Not really those base notes though. I'm not really smelling sandalwood on this. But actually on the skin, I do remember now, sandalwood used to be quite present on the skin. It smells so lovely. It leaves a trail, and if it wasn't for the fact it was discontinued, it would have been in my spring roundup of perfumes that I uploaded recently. Fantasy in Bloom is so good, so strong, wasn't even launched too long ago, so I'm not sure why it didn't stick around. But if it is one that you could get hold of, and I'll get onto that later, and my tips and tricks for finding these perfumes, then it would be a lovely one to try. I've been talking about these perfumes chronologically in the date order that they were released. So now we come on to 2017's VIP private show. And as you can see, I actually don't have my bottle anymore. That's how much I love the perfume. I've used it all up, and in my collection that says a real lot, because there are so many to get through. VIP private show was a flanker to 2016's private show, but that was a coffee creamy scent, and VIP wasn't really anything like it. The notes in it were magnolia and orange blossom, and then in the base, raspberry wood, golden amber and velvet musk. And it was just a really fun, fruity, sparkling, typically Britney scent that I kind of thought I could smell strawberry in for a long time, and it just kind of felt really good to put on. Just feminine, fun, uplifting, and I really wish I still had my bottle. And in fact, when I was looking up for my video, I thought I saw it online and got very excited, but no, it does seem to be discontinued, and I'm not sure as it's one they'll bring back, but it does seem to be quite popular in the perfume community. Launched in 2018, this is Sunset Fantasy, and the notes are Italian mandarin, blood grapefruit and apple in the top. In the middle, peach, orange blossom and raspberry leaf, and in the base, milk mousse, Australian sandalwood, vanilla and amber. And I just love the bottle. When this was launched, I think that pink to orange is just so pretty. I love those colours together. Didn't really appreciate it at first, to be honest, but somebody used to message me about it online and say how much she loved it, and she wasn't really a perfume person. This just really stood out to her as an amazing scent. And so when I smell this, it's this beautiful peach perfume, kind of fuzzy and warm, and the name and the branding kind of do suit the scent because it has me thinking of holidays, but it's got something a bit different, and it must be that milk mousse note combined with the peach, and then I certainly get the sandalwood note coming through as well. It smells really good, and I strongly believe that if this was released now, it would do so well. I know that personally I'm loving peach in perfumes at the moment. It smells amazing, and my only criticism of this at the time was that it didn't feel like it lasted very well. And actually that seems to be what I'm saying about a few of these perfumes. Maybe that's to do with why they didn't last the test of time on the shelves either. Because generally with the Britney perfumes, they're not the longest lasting in my collection, but with most of these 30-something bottles, I don't really have a problem with how they last. But yeah, sadly in this little set I've got here, Sunset Fantasy was a perfume that didn't last as well as I would have liked it to. I need to wear this one. This would be so lovely for summer, and I will be interested to know if you ever did test it. This perfume is Rainbow Fantasy, and it was launched in 2019. The notes are cloudberry, finger lime and pear leaf. In the middle, water lily, peony and jasmine, and in the base, golden amber, woodsy notes and cotton candy. And this perfume was just everything I wanted when it was launched, because we've got the rainbow in the name, the beautiful rainbow bottle, and the promise of a cotton candy note. And indeed, I tried it and loved it. I mean, it says 2019 when I researched the perfume, but actually I remember it coming out just before lockdown in 2020. It smells amazing and kind of everything at once. It's like it's fruity, creamy, woody, but also sweet and kind of sugary from that cotton candy note, which I can definitely smell in this perfume. It's so fun and uplifting, and certainly one that I reached for in lockdown. We've got a little bit of a dent going on here. I have worn this a lot. I would reach for it to feel good, knowing I could smell it throughout the day. And I think actually this is the perfume that made me really enjoy a cloudberry note. I hadn't really come across it before in scents, but I was just so surprised to see that this didn't stick around for very long at all. It was not very expensive. I think even when it was first launched, I paid about £25 for my 100ml bottle. That's kind of what I like to pay for these perfumes, and I'm just really impressed with it. It smells so good, the bottle is so pretty, and it is one that people often ask me about. So it is a real shame that Rainbow Fantasy didn't stay around. There we have it. These are the Britney perfumes that I think shouldn't have been discontinued. These and of course VIP Private Show. Please do let me know if you tried any of these scents, or if there are any of the other Britney perfumes that you wish had stuck around as well. Now, I think there is hope yet, because Festive Fantasy did seem to disappear and then came back online and could be bought quite affordably. So you never know, maybe in some warehouse somewhere, or some of these online retailers will bring back some of the perfumes. I would say it is worth saving your searches on reselling sites if you're interested in any of these perfumes, but just don't pay too much. I personally wouldn't pay any more than £30 for these perfumes, so yeah, don't let anybody overcharge you, because I've seen VIP Private Show, for instance, sell for a lot of money online, and as much as I loved it, I wouldn't be overpaying. Remember to check out my links below for my previous Britney review videos, top 10s and collections, and also lots of links to the Britney perfumes you can still buy. It is worth heading over to my TikTok shop, because I do add lots of Britney perfumes on there as well. Thank you so much for watching, and please do remember to like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel as well. I'm over on Instagram, TikTok and my blog. Thank you again, and I will see you in my next video.